Good afternoon, all the people. Today we'll be drawing with friends. What's up? How's everyone doing? Hey, let's get my buddy up on here really quick. Today we'll be drawing with graffiti markers. That's not what they're called at all. Let me find my friend. Where are you? There he is. Today we'll be drawing with friends. Lalo.
Hey,
What's good?
what's up?
What's goody, man?
So you got your graffiti markers. What else you got? What else we
I
working on?
got that's it. I got red, I got black, and I got smaller black.
That's all you need. Let's get cracking.
Let's get cracking. How do I do
Let's
this?
see. Let's see what music will not take me off.
Alright, so I feel like first,
Keep going.
I don't even know I'm not even sure how to do this, man. Today we'll be drawing with friends. I gotta. It sounds like the intro to a show or something, bro.
It sounds like a lullaby. Like you're singing these sweet lullabies. That's what that sounds like.
That does sound nice. Like, Yo, can you turn your screen?
Yeah.
Or
Like this?
Yeah, I think. Oh, am I correct? Never mind. I don't know. Because I'm holding mine horizontal.
Yeah.
Someone might want to hold theirs horizontal. This is a horizontal IG Live. Let's do a horizontal.
I think that's
I like
what this
that.
is.
That's nice. Is that
Can we see what's cracking here? Actually, let's move it a little bit. Boom. All right. Today,
Damn, that's nice.
I haven't touched this.
How do you do that, bro? All right.
But yeah, every single time I go live and I try to play a track, 30 seconds in, it just cuts the feed, says, copyright infringement, all that.
Oh.
And I'll try to put I'll put in the comment section and pin it. I'll be like, I do not own rights to music. Please don't take me down. And I'll pin it, and they still take me down.
And they still take you down every time.
That's
time. So funny. Oh.
Copyright infringement?
We're totally gonna get fucking kicked off.
Instagram. Oh, please don't take me off. I swear I don't own the rights to this.
All right.
Let's see.
So this is new. Nice little white. So
That's the most satisfying part is the starting of the markers. Yeah.
Push that shit down.
All right, let's get it.
Here we go. You can see it starts to bleed in the black a little bit. And black. Look at that. Magic.
Let's see.
Magic.
First line. What are you going to do? Where are you going to do it? That's the biggest question. All right.
Boom. First line. Oh, shit. Yours is a lot smaller.
Yeah, it's a little smaller. But that's good, though. That's
All
good.
Right. All right. I cheat is what I do. I like to see what he's doing, and then I cheat. I go off. I'm cheating.
So actually, you know what? I challenge you for this canvas, when you draw a line, try to figure out a way, even if you're trying to go in a different direction, find a way how you can connect separate lines just together. That's what a lot of this stuff is I'll make a line, like this first line, and then I kind of understand that this is the general area that I want everything to be in, so I try to bring the line back. So even if this line goes down, I want it to connect.
Oh, I got you. I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, one line at a time. I try not to overthink what the end product is going to be because I don't want to put that pressure on it. I want to just like in the moment, what do I feel is best?
Okay.
So far, we are not infringing on copyright.
Doing well.
So I saw you did earlier. We were chatting, and I saw you did this piece on your wall that was red and black.
Red and black.
Like a big boy.
In my room.
Yeah. Walk me through it. What was your thought process?
Yeah, that's Timmy. That's Timmy in the room. He started off as a light bulb. But it started off as Benny. Have you ever seen my Benny character?
I've seen the smaller one. That's why I saw the same eyes.
Yes.
And I was like, I'm pretty sure it's like an iteration of that.
Yeah. So it's like his friend Timmy.
Benny and Timmy.
Benny and Timmy.
I rock with it.
So they're the sleepy kids. And so Benny's Benny, but he's like, Timmy is like a light bulb, and he's an exhausted light bulb because he's an idea.
Yeah.
And he's like that
idea.
He's an idea. Yeah, he's the idea that sits in the back of your head that is like always raising his hand, and you never call on him because you're too afraid to, or for whatever reason you're it's like the teacher doesn't want to call on the smart kid in class,
Yeah.
Because he always calls on him or something or whatever. So he's just sitting there and exhausted, and he's an idea in your head that you've never really flushed out, that you've never really given attention to. It started off as that, and then it turned into like an ET looking thing riding a Yoshi.
There's a Yoshi on it?
Bro.
You gotta show me. I didn't see the Yoshi. I only saw the top.
I'll show you. It looks so ridiculous. Alright. How do I flip this? Here we go. It kind of looked like Yoshi on the bottom. Like a dinosaur.
I see it. Now I see it.
Yeah. He used to have arms and stuff, but then I just like coated it in red. I don't know. Bro, I tell you what's horrifying is having to go to sleep with Timmy looking at you. That's the fucking scariest shit.
You didn't think that far ahead.
Bro, I like open my eyes one night and I look and I just see him and I'm like, oh!
Sometimes I'll wake up and I'll see these in the corner.
Oh shit.
Oh my god. I'll set it up, like I'll do a bit or I'll set it up and then like forget about it and just kind of leave it for the day just because it's not, I'm not bothering anybody. But then other days I'll put my buddy in the window. And I'll have I wrote my Instagram down, so I'll get people like that'll hit my DM with a picture of like a mannequin in the window, like, who the fuck are you? Like,
who are you?
Yeah. Like, why you got these pretty mannequins?
That's so smart, dude.
Trying to brighten up people's day, man. One mannequin at a time.
That's important, man. You got it there. All right. Back to the work.
Back to work. But yeah, like even looking at the drawing that you did, there were like the red lines. You were like, you understood that every line had to connect back to something. Like when people are drawing shapes or whatever it is, like it's always of the understanding that if you're drawing an object or something that's sitting in space, that you just want to bring it like back to ground zero, back to home base every time.
Right.
So like right now, I'm literally like, I'm giving it like a general shape of right here, but sometimes like a drawing like this will start like this and then just end here because it feels right. But even if I have a line all the way up here, I just like keep reminding myself, like, okay, even if it stretches all the way to the corner, I gotta bring it back because it has to make sense relatively, you know?
Okay. Dude, and you got Aaron Kleiner drawing really well.
That's cap. He had the Lego, the Let's Go. Yeah, no, that was no. I gave him kudos for that.
You got Aaron doing some work, bro. Have you seen like the square stuff?
He's deep diving into it. No, he's like full force.
Bro, I look at that square thing and I'm like, bro, if you make that like a rectangle and a fat piece, you know, a huge square, that goes in like a huge living room, you know, somewhere.
Oh, you're talking about like the golden ratio stuff. He showed me that. That shit was crazy.
Yes.
That shit was crazy. And he did that on the way he did it, because he did one of the golden ratios, but it was like darker tones, and then he had like a white background, but then switched it to black, and it just looked like everything was like the golden ratio was like growing out of the black. I'm telling you. Do you have an iPad?
No.
You gotta try it. You gotta try, like, because I think that it's just it gives you a little, like, when you're only with the supplies that you have in front of you, the realm of creativity is kind of trapped in that. But when you're working digitally, it's like you can render damn near anything that you want.
That's
you know,
crazy. All right. I get an iPad, I guess.
Let's see it. Let's see where you got so far. I dig it. And then, so once you got some more lines down, then I'll tell you kind of how to add a little bit of depth to it.
Okay.
To push things forward and back.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Is there?
All right. Let's see. Try not to smudge the paint. Let's see if I can turn that. There. But that's good though. You're connecting everything. Like everything's kind of coming back.
I got no idea.
Just go off instinct. Like the one thing about like abstract stuff is people feel really pressured to make things representational. And they feel this, like, and it's really just like, you know, being your own worst critic a lot of the times. And I've run into this personally, but when you kind of let go of your inner judgment of like what a drawing or a painting's supposed to look like, there's just like this weight lifted off your shoulder to where it's just like that little inner voice just kind of goes away, fizzles away. So if anyone here is watching and they're trying to do this as well, I encourage you to not judge yourself. That's the biggest thing with creativity, is people feel like they gotta, you know, do a certain thing or execute something a certain way. So just you know, let things flow, let things happen, and, you know, don't judge yourself. It makes it a lot more fun. Boom.
Bang. Thank you. You're right. I was judging myself.
Because, like, I have no idea what this is going to look like at the end, right?
Right.
You know? But the good thing about creating stuff like this is if I hate it, then you can always paint over. You start over, you know? But
right.
you'll never know if you're going to hate it until it's done.
You get through it.
Boom. All right. So... Marker's running out. I can feel it. I can feel it.
The worst feeling.
It's so bad. It feels so light, I swear.
You're like, no, 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 no.
Yeah. And the worst part is I got markers to replace it, but I didn't read carefully, and it's not black, it's metallic.
Oh no.
So it would just, I mean, I can't. I hate painting with metallic. Metallic, for the people that don't know, if you paint with metallic, it's just going to crumble on a canvas, on paper, whatever it is. Like, the paint just doesn't hold up. So best to stick with just like solid colors.
I want to give you one of mine.
What the black markers?
Yeah.
But they're good though. The ones that you got are like good quality stuff. It's just I didn't read it.
You didn't read it, man. I wish I could throw you one. I'd throw it to the phone. Man, I'm like, and so you just catch it.
Whoa.
It's actually a really good idea. We're coming up with great ideas here.
That's what I'm saying.
Or like ways to hack the IG Live game.
Just toss paint back and forth. So. Cool. I want to. I think the tricky part for me right now is trying to figure out. So in the way that this is kind of like situated in space, these characters are kind of in a place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm debating if I even want to do that with this. You know?
That looks so crazy.
Appreciate it, man. But
Like you can make one look further back and one look further forwards.
yeah. So actually, here, let me check out what you're painting right now, so I can kind of give you a little rundown on that depth we were talking about. Let's see it. All right. So do you see on the left side of the canvas, kind of midway where that shape connects to that? You got a little more black towards the edge.
Yeah.
So I do something very similar. When things get to an edge, when I'm determining that, oh, wait, whoa. When I'm determining that this shape is behind this one, shadow. I put a little bit more black to emphasize a shadow. So that bigger shape on the left, the way that you shaded it, is making it look like it's coming forward.
Like this is more forward and this is more back.
Yes, sir. And you can kind of apply that same principle to some of the even more abstract shapes you got up top. So yeah, so here, let me do a little quick sketch to kind of give you an idea.
Like here.
Yeah, exactly.
This is overhanging.
Section it off anywhere you want.
Like I could choose this, and this to be sticking out, and then shade under here a little more.
Yeah.
Here.
Like those corners, yeah. So like you can and the more you shade out, especially with like the circles and stuff up top, the more it's gonna look like it's like a thing kind of jumping off the page. So let's see. So like with your loops, right?
Mm-hmm.
Under the loop, the bigger the drop shadow is, the more it looks like this is coming off the page.
Got you.
You know what I mean? Can you kind of tell a little bit?
Yeah.
So, and then in the same thing with those corners, like you were talking about, like, you know, that kind of makes it look like this is like tucked in under something.
So it would be like in geometry, these two angles are equal to each other. I shade a little bit up here and then I shade a larger amount down here.
Exactly. Like every shading isn't only affecting the shape that you're thinking about, it's going to affect the opposite side as well. So yeah, you're right about that.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, boy. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I feel like I should use a thinner marker. Just because I have one.
Bro. They're so fire. I swear, I'm so upset I got the metallic ones, man. I just gotta read.
I know, man. That you should have. Yeah, I feel bad.
Like,
because you actually know what to do with this shit.
I know. That was the worst part. I got home and my jaw just dropped. I was so mad.
You're like, no.
But yeah, it's no biggie. Let's see. I don't know. No. All right, so this is a good example of me trying to force a painting. So, so I like what I see so far, but I also feel like I'm not ready to decide whether or not I'm going to put in a space or not. So that's why we got this one right here. This one ready to go, so we can just start on the new one and then worry about it later.
I like that.
I like that.
Real quick.
Tell me.
I shadowed in this a little bit.
Yeah.
I should probably do it a little more. But like, I feel like shadowing the side makes it look like the light's coming this way, obviously, right? Yes.
Yeah. But and again, so that's a rule that I don't follow. That I understand, but I don't follow. Okay. You can place shadows wherever they need to be. It doesn't, like, the light direction doesn't have to make sense as long as visually I can understand that a certain line goes over another line. Like, I think people overthink that a lot when they're drawing or sketching, painting. They overthink light source. As long as you can make something look three-dimensional or like it's coming off the page, it doesn't matter. There doesn't need to be a, You know, because folks will, let's give an example. Example time. So the way that this shadow is going down is assuming that this spike, the light is hitting it from this direction, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's just put a little arrow.
Okay.
Right? But this shadow doesn't make sense then. Like there's certain parts that the shadows aren't going to make sense because like I only established that for this shape, you know, but I just don't care. Like everything else doesn't have to match that to make it look like it's like what it's supposed to be looking like. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, don't pressure yourself to feel like the light source has to be super accurate because at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter.
Okay.
Unless you're trying to do like photorealism or something super accurate.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. But for our abstract
How?
pieces, that don't make
How do I?
What's up?
Should I? Is it on a straight line down, or do I just make it kind of curve into it, or do I bring it all the way over here, and then a thin?
But that's the fun part about this kind of painting is you can just instinctively pick. To answer your question, do a swoop. Don't do a straight line. Do a swoop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what's so fun about pieces like this is because you just determine it as you go, and then at the end of it, you're like, okay, I think it's done, and you kind of step back and you're like, you know, while you're doing it, you're just thinking about the next line, but that at the end of it, you're kind of, wow, like this, it's something now, you know?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Well, see that would be really fun, right? If we had Devin painting at the same time, 3 people at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You know, yeah, you're right, dude. It's like,
yo, if you listen in, hold up. PSA. If you listen in, 3 people, 1 live, it's a vision.
It's a vision. Panel lives. We'll call it panel lives.
Panel lives.
IG live panel.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think there's like, now is a unique time to see, like, there's so much cool stuff happening on the platform. And I just think that, you know, for better or for worse, it's going to get like, you know, there's just going to be more and more cool stuff going on. You know what I mean? Like people are really utilizing social media to the fullest extent right now. I think it's really cool to see.
No, I think you're totally right.
Whoopsies.
Yeah, I mean, we're using it to really connect, you know, like we haven't been able to before, or like we just haven't needed to before almost.
Yeah.
There was no real need to spend, you know, we spent a lot of time on social media, but there was no real, you know, benefit outside of just connecting with people or feeling horrible about your own life. You know, it's like,
yeah.
And now it's something that's being utilized as more of a mechanism for survival or mental health, which I think is cool as fuck.
Yeah. It's the fact that it's democratized too, that like anybody with a phone can tune in and get that information. Like that didn't exist 10 years ago, and that's still like we grew up with that and we took that for granted. But the fact that literally anyone on the planet can look up, I mean, not anyone. There's certain places that things are blocked off, but for
right.
like information is just democratized, you know?
Yeah, it's true. At least, you know, in Western civilizations, like you're saying.
Right. I'm trying my hardest not to smudge other lines. That's the worst, man. That happened to the first one. I'm almost done crossing my T's, dot my I's, and smudge. Right at the end. They're just clean, black and white, looks so nice. And the white that I used to prime the canvases, I ran out of. So I couldn't go back and just paint over it with the normal white. Like, now I got to figure out what white's going to be the closest to that.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, so. It's all good. It's all good.
It's all good. It's fine.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Oh, God. Feel good about this. Feel good about it. See what about 14. We good. 14. Oh, shit. That was the smudge right there. Because you can't, like, I can't tell how wet it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
Close. I really don't know. A lot of folks will take when they're painting or drawing, they'll have like a stick, like there's like a whiffer thing, but they'll have like a stick that they have against the canvas and then press their arm on that so they can. You know what I mean?
That's really smart.
Yeah.
And you just choose not to, right?
Yeah.
It's a choice. It's an artistic choice. No whisk. That's what it is.
We like smudges.
We like smudges. We like the struggle. I'm with it.
But yeah, like all the like not pretentious, but like the super like classical like painting statues and stuff like that. Like all those guys in ateliers in like Florence will be like with these massive sticks across their canvas.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Row.
You the absolute shit out of me, dog. Oh my God, that was horrifying.
We're back.
We're back. Back.
What are we looking like? What are we looking like? Show me. I dig it. That's what I'm saying. You're making choices. You're making shadow choices. I dig it.
No hesitation.
Do a TikTok right now. Do it. Don't even think about it.
You got the TikToks.
Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it.
Okay. All right. I can do this. I can do this.
Yeah, you can.
I can do this.
You can do it.
I'm so good. I'm so good.
Ugh. That's what I was saying about earlier. How a song can give you the stink face, like ugh. These paintings. Ugh. Sometimes I'm like, I'm painting. I'm like, damn, I'm so good now. It's like, ugh. You gotta step away from it. You can't. You feel like you're doing too good. You gotta stop.
Yeah.
The world's got to catch up before you can keep going. That's what it is.
Right. I know exactly what you're talking about when it comes to painting.
Yes.
Yeah. The same way. That's why I don't paint more, because I need the world to catch up to my genius with it.
Yeah. You don't want to feel like you're elevating the art world faster than it's happening. You don't want to feel like you're way too ahead of the curve, because then you look wild.
You can't force evolution. You just can't.
No. The evolution of the painter.
Right.
Speaking of which, I don't think it's on Netflix anymore, but there's this flick called Blurred Lines.
Okay.
I might have already told you about it, but it's just kind of like giving like insight into like the art world in general and kind of how different like parts of it function, and it's just kind of like a rundown of everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Interesting takes on there.
What's it called?
Blurred Lines. I'll show you the title later.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely a good flick. I'm trying to think of other art. You've seen Living with Vincent, right? Or the one where every single frame was individually painted of this like movie.
With
yeah,
William Dafoe.
Yeah.
William Dafoe, I think, was in that. Yeah.
Never
saw it.
Crazy. It's crazy. Check it out.
Okay.
Check it out. Because a lot of folks think that Van Gogh killed himself.
But
there's a theory saying that there was like this little boy that would like mess with him in his studio. Him and his friends would mess with them. And there's like documentation of this little boy like getting a gun and all this different stuff, and like following how these little kids that were just messing with it. Because at the time, Van Gogh really wasn't a big name, like his name kind of got popping after his passing, unfortunately. But there's a lot of evidence, like hard evidence, saying that like a group of kids one day were messing around and they were like thinking that this gun was like a toy, and it accidentally went off. And then Van Gogh, in order to save the kids that like may have accidentally hurt him, he like staged it as if like it was not their fault. But like where he was at in the field, like where the gun was positioned, like none of it makes sense for it to be like a suicide. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like
where was he shot?
He was shot in the stomach. Yeah. So it's like, why would you? You know what I mean? Like so I don't know. It's crazy, but it kind of takes you through that whole journey. And they got like, I think millions of painters around the world to individually, frame by frame, paint in Van Gogh's style. So like not only paint the frame, but in his style. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'll shoot you that one too. That's pretty wild. It's a little slow though. It's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of art films can feel that way, But like for me, sometimes I watch a movie like y'all would go to like a museum, you know? Like I go there not expecting to be swept away in like an explosion,
Yeah.
you know, and like crazy whatever. I kind of go just to like look at the shots and like the composition, you know. Sometimes I just like looking at beautiful shit.
Yeah, because no, I mean, like, yeah, when you, I think when a lot of people bring up like a name like, you know, Scorsese or like all these really renowned producers, directors, they, a lot of that credit is owed to like how they shot it, not necessarily 100% just the content of the film. But
Right.
yeah, like what you're saying, like composition, rule of thirds,
dog. Or, you know, color scheme, shot, like the angle, you know, like just the way that they choose. I don't know, man. I just love, like, Terrence Malick is a great example of someone that takes his time with his films. And like, I've heard people go like, oh yeah, it was slow. And it's like based on what is it slow? Based on like progression of story? Like, yeah, like maybe that's the point, you know, is like, you know, life is super slow sometimes. Maybe he's doing, you know, it's like, you don't know why someone is like, I don't know. But, you know, Terrence Malick films, when you watch them, are like visually, in addition to other things, but like visually to me, I'm a visual person. Like, I love the way they look. So, like, to me, it wouldn't matter what is happening in character dynamic as much as I just like watching every frame he makes. But some people watch movies to be completely entertained and swept away in certain elements of them, as opposed to like going to a museum to look at art because you just love looking at art. It's like preference, taste. You know, it's taste.
Hit him with that knowledge bomb.
Come on.
What you mean?
Oh,
that's what we do here on Draw and Talk. That's what we do here on Draw and Talk.
We talk
about everything.
We talk about talk. Oh, how you do that like that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ooh.
Okay, so
Scooby Doopty. Scooby Doopty. Scooby Doopty. Yeah, man. I've been rewatching all these old Scooby Doos, man. Like Zombie Island, all that.
No joke, bro.
All that.
Like, and it's coming out too.
What's up?
That shit's gonna be coming out too, you know.
No, I don't know. Do you want?
There's a new Scooby Doo coming out.
For real?
I just saw the poster.
In what style though? Like, cause you know what I mean? Then it gets tricky, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
But you can't be shooting like a new Scooby Doo in like a '60s style. That doesn't make any sense.
I don't think they will. I think it's like some sort of
is it more kind of like the Pixar, like 3-dimensional kind of lane, or is it like more 2-dimensional, like Rick and Morty kind of? Do you know?
I don't know. I think it's animated.
Okay. Yeah. I'm excited though. You made my day regardless.
Hey.
Yo, that's actually so sick. I'm hyped.
I know, dude. Like, I forget how much I grew up on Scooby-Doo. Like, I forget how many of those episodes I fucking watched, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And they would, like, the VHS tapes that I would get with a movie or whatever it was, there would always be, like, instead of the commercials for the VHS, they'd have, like, Powerpuff Girls or Dexter's Lab.
Oh, my God, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Like
Dexter's Laboratory? Or the what? What are you talking? I'm sorry.
No. So like sometimes like on the VHSs, the VHSs.
Oh, the VHSs.
The best.
Yo, do you guys remember VHSs, bro? Oh my God. You can rewind them after.
I miss that. I don't miss the technology. I miss the satisfaction of the technology. And I think that's what a lot of people.
Yeah, man. I used to bike every weekend. I used to bike to Blockbuster.
with with like my sister or my dad or whoever, and like mom, you know, we would bike our asses to Blockbuster, and we would pick out a movie, and we would get ice cream at the ice cream place next to the Blockbuster, and we would bike our asses home. And like, man, we did that when I was like 4 years old, bro. Like, I still had training wheels. Remember training wheels, bro?
Yeah.
Training wheels, that was the shit. Because you could go as fast as you fucking wanted to, and that bike was not going down.
Yeah.
Well, actually, unless you tried to take you know, when a sidewalk is like going, and then it curves, and it's like all grass on one side, you know? Like, I used to take those corners, bro, without even understanding the laws of physics. And the bike would be tipping over because I'm like 4 years old. And I would just ditch the bike. I would run off the bike and which, funny enough, saved my, like, I used to do that so often because I think I liked the feeling of, like, the bike going so fast around a turn that the bike had to, like, flip. Yeah. That I would do it a lot. And I was four-wheeling, like, 3 years ago with Aaron and Tomer. And I took a corner like that on a quad, a heavy-ass quad. And, you know, I was on a hillside, and the thing was coming down on me real quick. But because of the 4-year-old intuition that I guess I have, I ditched that shit fast as fuck and jumped off of it and, like, outran it. And it was, like, weird story, but.
Did your life flash before your eyes, low-key?
No.
No.
No. I just was laughing. I caught so much air. I jumped off that motherfucker.
Yeah, those things, just because of how clunky they are, they kind of like, you could take that, like, you see folks go on like dunes and stuff, and if they go like parallel to the dune for the wrong split second, then it's just like, you know what I mean? Dude,
yeah, man. That's when it's scary, when you're up and it comes like, you know, oh fuck. I've never done that.
People get messed up on those. Have I done like a quad bike?
Yeah.
No.
No.
No, I'm not even opposed to it. It looks fun as hell. It's just like, yeah, I don't know. I guess we gotta just go to Costa Rica and get on quads.
I guess we don't have any other choice.
For real. That's the other thing too, man. Costa Rica's actually been dealing with this whole COVID-19 thing, like, a lot better than, like, I had my folks. They were kind of scared because in one of the towns that a lot of my folks are at, there was like early on there was like 2 cases. You know what I mean? Well, what happened?
Nothing. I'm gonna listen to your story and then when we do this.
But yeah, no, I mean, it was just like initially I was kind of worried, but your
folks
so low.
Are your folks still back in Costa Rica?
Yeah, but the thing is that there's more Costa Rican like casualties or cases outside of Costa Rica than in. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's more folks. There's more Costa Ricans in the United States or other countries that have COVID-19 than actual Costa Ricans still living in the country.
Wow. So they're handling it really fucking well.
Yeah, I think they really did try to hop on it pretty early so that they could do that. But I mean, tourism is such a big player in their economy that it's a double-edged sword. You're saving lives, but your economy's kind of tanking a little bit.
Right. I'm not like, I've heard tourism is like, you know, you don't really realize how much of an industry tourism is until like you hear about it. Like this, Costa Rica, I'm sure the Bahamas, you know, even places like Key West in Florida, or Miami in Florida, or Los fucking Angeles, you know, it's like, it's nuts. And like, you never really think it, but that's a huge part of these states and countries' economies.
Yeah, man.
So, but is your fam all right in Costa Rica?
Yeah, they're good. I mean, they're just being smart, staying inside, like, you know, keeping to themselves. Yeah, just doing what they can. I think that, like, I was glad that when I called and was checking in on folks that they were like, the sentiment of concern was like similar. Like they didn't feel like, oh, it's just like a hoax or whatever it was, and they were like actually paying attention to. I mean, they were paying attention to Miami. If anything, they were hitting me up, being like, "Yo, are you okay?" Because
Right.
they were like, you know, it's a lot worse over where you're at than over here. So we just wanted to check in. But I'm glad, and you know, a lot of not a lot of my folks, but some of my folks are older, and you know, I mean, it's just you don't want to think about worst case scenarios, you know, at a time like this. But I'm just glad they're all right. So.
Well, it's good that they're all right. That makes me happy. And I mean, really, man, as long as you're just like smart, you know, I feel like the odds of this thing getting you are, you know, if you know, New York is one thing, right? Because you have like you're so densely populated.
Right.
You know, Miami, you know, pretty densely populated. Not as obviously New York's like the most densely populated place. I mean, it's not technically Los Angeles. The greater area, I think, has the most people per mile, like per square mile. On like if you take if Los Angeles is X miles and there are X people with like in then technically it's the most densely populated city. At least that's what our mayor said. But
Right.
like LA is it's hard to explain, but like yes, there's more people in a smaller amount of square miles than there are in New York, but everyone in New York is far more on top of each other, and it's a smaller amount of miles. So it's not as densely populated, even though technically by their like form. Anyway,
Yeah.
But like in LA, dude, I don't, and I'm blessed and super privileged, obviously. I don't know anyone that has it. Like I don't personally know. My sister knows someone, so I know someone through her, but I don't really personally know anyone that has it. Whereas in New York, I was talking to someone, 30 of her friends have all had it. You know, so it's like people in LA are like, you know, you're seeing these like protests like you know, open California and stuff, and it's to them they're like, I don't know people that have it. So to them it's almost like a myth, but then to people in New York it's like, what are you talking about? This is, and it's a really serious thing, but it's so wild how just by where you live you will think completely different things about it.
Yeah. Right. And I mean, like that's just, I think that's the double-edged sword in the sense is like you're leaving it up to your governor or whoever's in charge to really make those just calls and those right calls. And if they're not, then you just kind of got to roll with the punches. Like, I mean, our governor went on television not knowing how to put a face mask on, son. Like, that's crazy. Like, the man was struggling to put a face mask on national television, like in front of the world, being like concerned about, and it's like, you know, I don't know, man. I have buddies of mine that like are already trying to get back to South Beach.
To what?
To South Beach. Like it's like people just don't learn, man. Like people just don't learn.
They really don't, bro. But then again, it's also like it's again a question of like you can't be mad at someone who's ignorant because the reason they're ignorant is that they just don't know. So if someone doesn't know something, even though all the information is there, they still don't actually know. Like they're
it's
like,
your duty to educate someone. If they feel like they want to learn, then yeah, it's your duty.
yeah, exactly. But some people are like, nah, I don't buy it, and you're like, well, hold on, man. Like, you know, more people have died from this thing than in like the Vietnam War. And they're like, nah, I don't buy it. Like it's, you know, it's the flu, and you're like, well, all right, man. Like honestly, like, what am I gonna say to change your mind? Wear a fucking face mask, you know, for other people. But
yeah.
All right, so I have an
Quick
idea.
little shout out to Howard and Angela in here. Much love.
Much love.
Shouts out to you guys. What's up?
I'm gonna paint these little things red and this whole area red.
Okay.
To create like a new dimension, right?
Okay.
So like these would be red, and then this can be red, and then this is that shadow of that thing that you can't see. Is what I was trying to get at.
Yeah. I think go for it.
Does that work?
Yeah. And I think you're doing, but that's what I'm saying. Like you're already processing. If I place this color here, how's it gonna look on? You know what I mean? You're going about it the right way. So yeah, just go on instinct. Don't overthink it. For all the people out there, don't overthink it.
Too late.
Too late. I overthink it.
Too late. I took it. Does this one work? Please work, sir.
Pretty please. Yo, I'm
You gotta go.
My phone might die.
Okay.
No, I'm saying my phone might die, but I'll be right back. How about that?
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
This is actually gonna finish. I don't know how long we've been doing this
really?
for, but it will finish in an hour. There's an hour limitation on IG Lives, I think.
You're right. I mean, I already have my phone plugged in. It should be fine.
Okay.
He's alright. Be good.
We good. We'll go until it runs out. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm liking the way this is gonna look.
God, just the adrenaline of just like being on the street and doing it with those markers.
Yeah. You know, you see there's
Yeah.
a big red.
Yeah.
It'll be tight. Maybe I won't.
We lit.
We lit, bro.
See if I can kind of. There we go.
Just gotta figure out what else is that color, you know.
Yeah.
There we go. And this. Oh shit.
I'm just watching you process this.
I'm like, all right, so this is sticking out over this.
Right.
There's no lines that fuck with. Okay, so then it goes here, and then. Nope, that's not how that works. Unless. No.
So the red that you painted on those smaller shapes is the top is always overlapping on the other shapes, right? I think, right? I can kind of tell from here a little bit. Like the red on the Yeah. So those two little Make sure that when you cuz there's a line that overlaps from those two teardrops to that box. Maybe so right above that. You see that little arch right there, the little doorway? Down a little more. To where the teardrops that you did with the red? Yeah. So you see how it intrudes to the next shape, a little archway?
This?
That right there, that little thing.
Yeah.
To the left a little bit.
You're
that
left
little
this
on
way.
the right there. It's almost there to the right,
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
so
arch
that
in the
thing.
middle.
Leave that blank. Leave that white for now. Yeah, leave it white for now.
Yeah. Because it's like, okay, I'll leave that white, but this can be red, and in here,
Right.
and in here, because that's the shot. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Before I confuse myself, I'm just gonna paint the part red as opposed to looking for other parts that I can paint red too. Does that make more? All right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think because it I think a lot of times I'll end up in a similar headspace where I feel like I need to pencil things out or plan things out instead of just doing it. You know, I think it just goes back to like people feel like they're, and I do this again a lot, is I just judge myself in the process instead of just kind of seeing what happens. You know.
Yeah.
That looks good, man. That look good. Ooh, that's good. And then even if you like go over the black a little bit, you can just go right back over it with black after.
Right. Oh, that makes okay.
Yeah. Because I'll do that. I'll do the black outline, paint over, and then just go back over the black lines. Because I'd rather do that than pencil it, shape it, and then put the black.
I see.
Yeah.
Just fuck that up. That's cool. This is such a massive red marker.
Yeah.
To be doing like detail work with.
Yeah, you gotta like angle the tip, I guess, the way that you want it. Like
Yeah.
that's the tricky part. But I just love how much paint comes out of it when you really, really press it down.
Yeah, it's just like fucking.
I'm telling you, like just hitting walls. Speaking of, I don't know the Graph Lab thing that I sent. So I sent this. There's this spot in LA that you can go do legal murals, and it's not like you just go in, you send like a mock-up of roughly what you want to do, they approve it, and then you can do whatever. You just chill.
Holy shit! I was wondering what that was. So you send them like a little bit of what you want to do.
Yeah, like as long as it's not like something like profane.
Profane, right?
They don't care. They're like go crazy. So like I've seen like a lot of just like muralists that I look up to. They'll go there and just like practice, and you can just buy 20 cans, pull up, paint all day, and yeah.
That's really sick. Yeah, 100%. Right? We got to do that.
That's what I'm saying. So we'll figure that out when all this craziness is over.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. I gotta angle this.
Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Dude, I'm so hyped you told me that.
Yeah.
That actually, legit made my day. That shit is fire. Fire. The question is are they gonna bring new characters? Is there gonna be?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question.
Is the mystery machine gonna be a Tesla?
Oh, what?
A Tesla.
Oh my God! It better be. I don't know what else it would be. It has to be Tesla. How long were we out for?
Oh, like 20 seconds. I was trying to figure out if it was both of us that were like paused, but no, we good.
My bad.
I was concerned. I'm sorry.
I'm out here like, I looked up and was like, oh, what happened? I'm over here like, I need my wick now.
That's what I'm telling you. I might start using this.
Dude, you might as well, bro. I'm out here like, oh man, because I'm gonna smudge.
Really?
Maybe. I'm pretty close. Well, or more so like I got red on my hand now.
Yeah.
I don't want to rest my hand against the goddamn thing.
Yeah.
All right. I'm getting confident now. I'm just like, whatever.
That was good, man. It looks like the red is like lifting off the page though, and like the drop shadow is what helps it. You know, that's what I like about working in black is it's just like when you have high contrast, like the ability to differentiate things in space becomes a lot easier than if you're just working with tones of a color.
Right, because you can then like it's a little bit easier to create dimension, right, without it having to be like just the shadow play. It's like you have this color which is on this level and this color which is on that level, and then the canvas level which is the furthest back, and then
Yep.
You smart guy.
You're We're smudging. We're smudging.
Smudging.
You got the black jeans on. No sweat. No sweat. Just wipe it off.
That's right.
Oh, that AC feels fire. And hot. Shit, it's hot as on here. That's the one thing I understood real quick about when I first moved down here was the heat, especially in the summer, dude. Holy hell.
It's another level. You were used to that. You were used to that damn cold weather.
No.
And then you got hit with that damn hot weather.
God damn.
Isn't that shit? That shit's a beast, huh?
The cold, yeah, man. I mean, I'm glad I missed out on it for a year.
The hot too, though. Like the hot's a different animal.
Yeah.
You think it's more bearable than the cold?
The heat? Oh yeah. No. Like realistically, I'm being a wimp by complaining, but like yeah, no. I mean, you got the polar vortexes, you got the just general storms, you got. I mean, I don't know, but I was talking to a buddy of mine, man. I miss a lot of parts of Chicago. I don't know how much time you've been able to spend down in Chicago, but man, that city during the summer is just. You can do anything, man. You can get from one side of the city to the other and just have a ball. Like
really?
Yeah, man. That's one. It's like a neater, cleaner New York. That just. I mean, I love. Don't get me wrong. I like New York, but Chicago during the summertime, like, it's just the energy, man. The people, Like, I don't know. It's a vibe.
That's awesome, bro. I've been to Chicago once in my life.
Yeah. What were you doing down there?
Huh?
If you don't mind me asking, what were you doing down there? What brought you to Chicago?
It's a good question, bro. I don't know if I'll ever be able to remember.
You remember?
What was it? Whoops. What was I doing in Chicago, man? I think my dad had a meeting there with someone when I was young.
Okay.
And then we went and got deep dish pizza.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It's hit or miss with me, man. That it's like soup. It's like bread soup at a certain point.
Like soup that's in bread?
Yeah. Like cheese soup with tomatoes sprinkled in.
Bro,
I don't know.
I'm
Like,
so hungry right now.
you're right. What you thinking? What you gonna make?
I'm gonna do peanut butter.
Just right out the jar.
Right out the jar.
Ooh. Ooh.
Chicago, bro. It sounds like. Tell me more about Chicago, like what you do and stuff in the city.
So, I was really lucky to, be able to go to school down there. And I mean, when I was in the suburbs, that was definitely like a little bit of a hike to get down the city, like an hour train ride. But when I was doing the program at Columbia College, they had this special to where students of the school could go to the Art Institute and MCA and other really dope, world-renowned art installations, galleries, etc. for free. So I would get free tickets and I could go any day I want. Yeah. So, I mean, 4 days out of the week, I would go with the sketchbook to the Art Institute or the MCA and just like stay with a painting for like 30 minutes at a time and just rotate pieces that I wanted to check out. Kind of like, there's just so much like culture. That's the one thing about Chicago is, and I think that All-Star Weekend and different events that have been going on down there have been showcasing is just, it's a city that just eats, sleeps, and breathes creativity. And, I think that like with certain things like Complex Con and different really big global events, globally recognized events coming to Chicago and seeing that has just been able to put the city on a bigger and bigger platform. Like, I mean, I don't know, man. There's just so much to do. In a day, there's so much to do. So that's what I love about it. Whereas versus New York, dude, like you could not like go in every single, I mean, maybe, but like you could not get in every single little pocket, nook and cranny of New York in a day and have fun.
Right. You would just have to be running. It's impossible. Yeah. You can't see everything in New York in one day.
No,
you actually will never, ever be able to see everything in New York, ever, I don't think.
I've only been to like Times Square and like that, like the very touristy areas. I've never been to like Brooklyn, Harlem, just like all the other like just cultural epicenters of the city. I've only really seen like the touristy stuff. So
there's, outside of the touristy things, there's so much underground shit in New York that I don't even, like, I know of some cool speakeasies that like, not like, that I think they're probably mainstream speakeasies, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that are really cool. But I'm like, New York is so layered and all of its shit. I don't know. It's just, it's a cool city. It's a cool city, but I haven't explored Chicago, and I would love to explore Chicago. When this is all over, man, we just do a road trip around the country.
I'm down. That's another thing I haven't done is like a proper road trip. But I also like, because it's so like those kinds of trips are like just so spontaneous. You know what I mean? In nature, like it's not like you're flying somewhere, you got an itinerary.
Right. When
you're on the road, it's like whatever happens, happens, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 It's like I've road tripped. I don't think I've ever I've definitely road trip. I mean, I've driven across the country and shit. But like, we did that for like me and my buddy Abiad. Me and my buddy had to get across the country within like 3 days, and we hauled ass. So it wasn't like we did whatever we wanted.
Okay.
I would love to like, you know, either do a caravan thing with like some buddies where, you know, we have like 6 different people, you know, or like 7 or 8 different people packed into like 3 cars, and we're just driving around. Jesus. Like an RV or something, maybe, you know?
Yeah.
Whatever. Well,
Let's see. What do you got? That's where we're at?
Where we're at. I'm going to keep working on it until I don't hate it.
Is it kicking us off?
No. Not yet, actually. I feel
that's the thing is I don't even know when we started this. That's the funny part.
Yeah,
But it'll pop up a timer. I'll run into this where like I'll be like talking to somebody and it'll pop up a timer at like a minute or something.
Yeah,
and that's like
down.
that does not give me enough time to be like, all right, folks, well, this is the artist that you should check out.
Well, you know what's weird? So in 214, we connected, and then it was 2:45, and we probably went on at like 3:45. No, I think we have. I don't know how long we've been on. I think we've been on longer than an hour. I feel like we've been on long.
Right, but we were also talking prior.
That's true.
We were vibing prior. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. No, but I'll call you. I'll FaceTime you.
Yeah, 100%. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Another episode of Draw and Talk. Shout out to my guy Noah for popping on. Appreciate you. Much love. Stay tuned. More episodes coming soon. Yeah, just got to figure that out. But stay tuned.
Shout out Lalo. Art World.
Peace out, guys.
Bye, guys.